Okay, let's go everybody! We have the next playday here for the Nations Cup. Germany versus Netherlands today is our match, and yeah, had some awesome games already. The Germans, they are still going strong, so currently they're sitting at 9-2-0, if I'm not mistaken, as we're heading into playday number 4. So it should actually be pretty awesome. I'm really looking forward to this. Let's see if they can do it again, if they can win the entire match here without even losing a map, or if the Netherlands prove to be a little bit too strong for them today. But they've been playing nearly flawless, and obviously they, together with Sweden and with France, they're the big favorites when we're talking about the round of 8. So we have a full round robin with 8 teams right now for the European qualifier for the Nations Cup, and Germany has been doing absolutely stellar. They haven't faced off against some of the big names just yet, so we'll see how that is going to influence things, but at least up to now, it's been a bit of a breeze for them. Now, 4 teams, the top teams after the full round robin has been played out, will move on to the final stage of the event, which is obviously the offline final in Berlin. And as already pointed out earlier, you guys are welcome to join us. There's tons of people that have already talked about how they booked their flights, how they booked their hotels, how they're gonna stay in Berlin for a little bit longer to enjoy the city. And you can of course do the same. There's no entrance fee, there's no tickets that you have to buy. You can just simply rock up at the venue and be like, hey, we wanna watch, and yeah, that's all you gotta do. It's gonna be great. We have already announced some of the casters. We have Barmod over there, Trixler's coming. I'm gonna be there as well. We might have a couple of surprise people that jump in and cast the game with us too. Players obviously are all gonna be there. Not only the European teams, but we also have a team from North America, and we have a team from Asia that will attend as well. It's gonna be awesome. The entire event takes place at the Experian, which is a great venue, huge venue, right at the Alexanderplatz, very central in Berlin. And if you wanna have any kind of idea of like what this looks like, maybe a couple of pictures, galleries, videos, previous events that they've been running, you can check out the links in the description. It's obviously true also for the Nations Cup details, so don't hesitate to just jump in and have a look there. But as we're going into today's match, we have another best of 5, obviously. We're kicking things off on Towers of Doom, and right now, the Germans, Netherlands already, good move, banning the tank, no Panzer for Germany on this one. Hogger is the first pick for Mindhog and his boys. And I gotta say, Netherlands haven't been doing too badly themselves either. Now there's obviously always the chance that one of these teams is also going to cause a huge upset when we're talking about the top 3 that I highlighted earlier. But even if the top 3 is able to qualify for the main event, you have to consider there's always that 4th spot the teams can fight over, and every single map matters. It's not only about the match score, but the map difference is also highly important. So every map that you can take, even against one of the top teams, is worth a lot to you. Blaze taken early. We got Brightwing, and over for the Netherlands we got Rega, played by me, Bicycle probably, and Mayev. It's actually kind of funny. I thought the other day, like when I grew up, so basically for a lot of people in Europe and in Germany in particular, the biggest sport that you are going to follow is football. So when you follow that, there's obviously a lot of rivalries. And there was a rivalry when I was younger, and I don't think it exists to the same extent anymore, but there was a huge rivalry between Germany and the Netherlands. And so the Germans, they don't like the Case Cup. One of the reasons was like all those stupid camper vans that were always blocking the highways in Germany coming from the Netherlands. I mean, it's obviously, again, it's like friendly banter, right? Like nobody takes this too serious. But then I was like, okay, so yeah, but like basically I started thinking about it and I'm realizing the Germans don't like anybody. We don't like anyone. It's kind of funny. We don't like the French because they're giving up too early and they're always surrendering. They have like a weird language and whatever not. We don't like the Italians because they're all cheating. I guess we like the Spanish. I don't think we have anything against the Spanish. With the guys in the UK, we have a rivalry going on there as well. And then when you're looking over towards the east, I think that's pretty much more like it. Obviously, we don't have any beef with the Austrians or with Switzerland, because at the end of the day, they are just like extended colonies that we can take back any day that we want. But that's what it is. I wonder how many people are offended right now. Maybe I set a new record. Either way. So, on the left, we got now Tracer and Deathwing in the house. And by the way, if you take this too serious, you're American. You know who you are. So, final 2 picks. Let's see what we're getting here. Yeah, it's actually, the reason why I said that is that Americans don't understand that country rivalry and banter and have always taken everything super serious. Every time that we had any Americans over in Europe and people were just taking the piss out of each other and the countries they were coming from, all the Americans were super uncomfortable whereas everybody else was just having a great time. Anyways, excited for the series here. Germany against the Netherlands. The final pick is Li Ming on Towers of Doom. We got that Deathwing main tank again that Nick played so many times already. And for the team in red, it was Tigers on the final pick. So guys, without further ado, map number 1, Germany against the Netherlands. It is Towers of Doom. Game number 1, and on the left we have Death Knight on Brightwing. Hazops is playing Blaze. We got Ultralisk on Li Ming and Dino on Tracer. So the dynamic duo over here. Super aggressive with the picks that they have. And we got Nick on Deathwing. To the right side of the map, the Netherlands in red with Fish on Tigers, Mind Talk on Hogger, Hyago. Actually, it's like Higao. I always want to turn him into a Japanese anime character, but yeah, he's playing Maiev. We got Simply on Johanna, and the Meat Bicycle is playing Rhaegar. And that sets us up. Game number 1. Let's go, boys. What are we getting today? Can the Germans do it again? 3-0. So far, they have been incredibly consistent. And they've made sure that they have a perfect track record in this particular Nations Cup qualifier. And pretty much if they take... I mean, they are more or less qualified already. So it's nearly impossible for them to drop out of this. I think if they take the match today, then they are actually fully qualified. The Netherlands, so far, they haven't really won anything, so things didn't really go too well for them. They played against Sweden on the first playday, who's obviously part of the top 3. They were able to take a map there, but they lost the series. And then on the second playday, they went up against Finland, and the Finnish team is actually looking not too shabby. I'm really interested to see what they can pull off. Up to this point, we've been talking about the potential number 4 in the round robin being maybe Spain, maybe Poland. Those two have had really nice showings. But now that Finland came in as a replacement of Denmark, who had to bow out from the competition, the Finnish team is doing pretty well, I gotta say. So we'll see how much they can do here. But yeah, so I've been talking a little bit about the Netherlands, and the loss to Finland happened on the second playday. But then on playday number 3, they went up against Spain, and Spain is ruthless these days. I mean, the Spanish, whew, they lost so far only a single series, and that was against the Germans. Outside of that, they won every single match they played. So there is a massive contest going on right now for the teams to figure out who is going to make it to Berlin. And everybody, of course, wants to go there. Not only because you want to be part of the offline event, you want to check out also, I mean, you want to win prize money, but it's pretty special these days if you have an offline competition. It's even more special if it's an international offline event. Plus, you get the entire trip, of course, paid as a player, and the accommodation as well. And by the way, if you want to support our efforts to pull these things off, check out the link in the description. There is a crowdfunding that we have going on for this, and any help is really appreciated. As you can imagine, hosting these events is not cheap, and we would love to keep the competitive scene alive outside of only hosting online tournaments. So if you would like to support that, if you enjoyed the events that we hosted in Miami and watched them, if not, you can check them out on my YouTube channel. There's playlists. But yeah, if you would like us to do more events like this, then any support there is very much appreciated. So with that, we now have another little attack here up at the top, and it was actually a first blood move with 1 kill coming in. Dino now might be a bit in trouble, but is still able to make his way back out there. It could have been a bit dicey if Rhaegar was in range to lunge in and get some damage done, but that didn't really happen. So, as is, now we got the shots fired, and of course with the first altar phase, it's traditionally the battle over the third altar that is the most impactful, but Ultralisk is channeling it through, no risks taken by the Netherlands, and therefore easy plays right there. So, Meat Bicycle, alright. So here we go. But they're already looking at another kill, this time on Maiev. Can't get it. Calamity is, of course, now in play. Yeah, Calamity is one of the tools that allow Liming to get even more damage out. But Germany with that German efficiency. And today they were also punctual. It was obviously always a little bit memey with the German punctuality, and you believe that. It's actually still true. But if you look at German trains, then it's a little bit of a disaster. But for me, like, one of the things that I struggle with in Spain is that in Spain, nobody gives a fuck about time. If you tell somebody, like you agree with someone, you say like, okay, we're gonna meet at 3. For Spanish people, it is absolutely acceptable to arrive at 3:20. That's totally acceptable. That's like more or less expected. Like that 20-minute window is like something where they feel totally comfortable. Nobody would apologize and say like, ah, sorry that I'm late. Like for them, that doesn't matter. If I tell somebody that I will meet them at 3 o'clock or I will be somewhere at 3, and by the way, I'm not talking about just meeting with your friends. Even if you have something like a business meeting, I think their rules are a little bit stricter, but even there you see this like shift a little bit. If I tell somebody that I am at some point at 3 o'clock, I'm there 5 minutes early. 5 minutes early to make sure that I'm not late and I don't make anybody wait. That's just, for me, German culture that has been ingrained in my head, in my every being since I was a little kid. And sometimes here in Spain, it is a struggle, I gotta say. If you're just sitting there and it's just like, yeah, everybody else is waiting. I actually don't even mind if I have to wait a little bit. That's kind of okay. But if I'm with people that don't take it seriously, that I want to be on time, and then they delay everything, that drives me up the wall. I have more than one argument about that. So yeah, certain stereotypes are definitely true. So yeah, the Germans, they always want to be punctual. The Italians have small penises. I mean, take your pick, but there are certain things they can definitely take from that. So, level 10 is in, we got our abilities, and we also got another kill in the house because Teresa decided that it's time to take the doggy for a walk. Rega is dead, the fish dies too, and now Dino, yeah, he still gets out. Still no kill for the Netherlands, they're losing another one. They lost Johanna, okay, and now it seems that they're just going for the first bell tower conversion, so it's going to be a 5 versus 3 on the bell tower points. And yeah, with that, we're now heading straight into the mid-game, where Germany could make it very tough for the Netherlands. I mean, really tough. At least both teams have level 10 abilities now, but just look at Hogger. Hogger is already having a bad day over here. Yeah, this is not looking good for him. No. The Fleabag is a little bit extra smelly today. Yeah, we're getting closer and closer to summer. So now it's warmer. And if Hogger doesn't take a bath, then you can smell him from a mile away. He should actually not be allowed to hide in bushes, because the only thing that you have to do with Hogger is you have to just sniff the area a little bit. They're using the wrong sense. There's a couple of things that don't make any sense. Deathwing shouldn't be able to hide in these either. I mean, look at this guy. He's as tall as a building. How do you hide in a fucking bush? And Hogger, all you gotta do is you just gotta smell it a little bit. You go full Demon Slayer on him, and you just smell it out. Full Tanjiro, use your sense of smell, and then you got it. If you want to find Hogger, you don't use your eyes. That's pretty much what's going on there. Level 13 talents, any second right now. The Germans are in full control of this game. We have 6 pumpkins and are traveling through the bot lane in an attempt to relieve the red team's core of a few more points. And of course, since they're channeling the double altar, that's another 10 gone right there. 33,000 damage for Tracer. We got 14,000 for Tychus. And yeah, what are we gonna get on the defense? I mean, if they can break through and retake this would be great, but I'm a bit more worried that they're gonna lose another hero as they're trying to push in, because they're just consistently met with 3-4 heroes down here that have also a decent amount of CC and burst damage that could definitely take a target down quickly. So yeah, time will tell. Little move towards the top. Apparently they're trying to set up a bit of a trap here. And look at this. Brightwing comes in for the aggression. And here's the kill. Even dodging on the disc. Did you see that? Disc thrown out by Maiev. And Dino, nope, he doesn't want the timeout. So he simply recalls. And that's that. But that was exceptionally well played. They knew where Rega was. Rega went a little bit too deep. Blaze was already sitting at the side, and then Brightwing was called in to drop the polymorph. Stun connects too, and that is the end of the doggy. Perfect trap, well executed. The Germans with another big hit. Yeah, and in the meantime, we have now with Odin another chance for Fish to maybe take this one back. And so you can tell that the Netherlands is getting a little bit desperate over here, because they're just sitting on this and they're saying, guys, we have to take bot lane control again. If we don't, then they're going to send Pumpkin off of a Pumpkin our way in towards our core. They have a better situation for every single altar that spawns. We're going to have a tough time accessing the bottom. So they drop Odin and then they push through and claim it. Which means that we have now still no kill for the Netherlands, but at least they brought this one back. Now a few Pumpkins still made their way through to the core. Sorry, the boss was taken. That made the shots happen towards the core. So now we're at 14 to 36. And Deathwing still being a bit of a pain with the interrupts. One after another over here. Yeah, another tether, another play. They're trying to go for the meat bicycle. Can they get the kill here? Not just yet. Maybe another opportunity in a moment. Brightwing down. All right. Brightwing eliminated, and here comes Deathwing. They want that altar. And for good reason, of course. If they channel this one too, then they have the opponent down on 10 points. Nearly in the single digits. So, yeah. Off we go. Mid lane has already been a little bit damaged. Oh, God. Nah, not like that. Yeah, he was a bit too optimistic with that engage. I'm not quite sure what happened there. But now it's a 4 versus 4. At least they got one kill. They were able to take Brightwing down, so that's good news, I guess. First kill for the Netherlands. But the channel has happened and Simply is simply gonna die. Yeah, 2 alone. So, another attempt to recover the bell tower. And yeah, they nearly got the fish here too. Netherlands are in trouble. Game number 1 is not really going too well for them. They're in real trouble here. They have gotten 1 kill, so that's nice for them, but they're still a talent behind, 2 levels behind. And one of the next altar phases, of course, another triple. And this is actually the next one. If they get just 1 of the bell towers, and they do now, then 2 altars are enough to win the game. So, yeah, a kill would go a long way. Renega using the Ancestral, even Tigers with the grenade here, but they just can't kill Dino. They can't kill Tracer. So, we have Tracer at 52,000 damage. Now, Maiev dead too. Killed by Li Ming here. That defense isn't going too well. We have Pumpkins now taken. And, yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a nightmare for the Netherlands, isn't it? So... they're gonna have... oh my god, no. Oh! Nick! With a big kill. I mean, he wanted this one. So they take Deathwing down. He gets punished for claiming the life of Hogger. But if you're Nick, then you look at the situation, you're like, alright, this is mine. This is mine. Let's go. Yeah, and at this point, with only 7 points on the core, with Pumpkins making it through once again, this is of course a disastrous spot for the Netherlands to be in. Germany at the 12-minute mark is inching closer and closer to victory in game number 1. And the Netherlands still don't have level 16 talent, so they're still playing with a talent disadvantage. This gets dodged. Ultralist doesn't fall for it. Brightwing is already channeling down at the bottom of the map, which puts the core now down to 2 points. And yeah, all they gotta do is get one of these 2 altars and Bob's your uncle. So Mind Talk gets pushed back. They might not get the kill here, but they gotta be very careful so that Tracer and Brightwing don't fall. And both of them are able to make it out, or at least that's what it seems like. There's the stun. Tigers is dead, but so is Tracer. Finally another kill from the Netherlands. But the channel could happen. They could actually channel on the left side, and they just don't do it. Instead, they're moving Nick over to the right. Kill for a kill as Brightwing falls, and so does Hogger. But with Li Ming getting reset after reset, she just continues the party, invites Maiev, takes her down too. And of course, this is very likely gonna be the end. The 2 of them here. Bit of a dance party as Li Ming commits honorable Sudoku. They could have channeled already on the left. Decided against it, but now Rega is about to get fired up. I don't think that a little doggy is going to make it here. Nah, this is going to be the end of him. A few more heals. Ooh, missing one, but there it is. Simply, obviously, he knows what's happening. He might interrupt it once again, but this is just over. yeah. Netherlands, they have accepted it. German domination over here. And they subdued their opponent now completely. Unless, of course, they're just goofing around a little bit. And it seems like they're going to interrupt Hazu. So they're not quite done with it just yet. Tracer's back too. Get some damage out here on the left. Trying to go again for Jojo. Should be able to get the kill. So Simply is dead. They're still fighting over on the left. 2 altars are up. Only 2 shots are needed. Death Knight has to retreat, but they're all still fine. It's a 5 versus 4 at the end. Rhaegar just now came back, and they're still trying to battle it out a little bit, but Hogger dies again, and Hazel is just saying, alright boys, enough fun, enough partying, let's go and end this, and end it he does. Channel has happened, kills come in, and this is game as Germany takes the lead in the best of 5. GG. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2, Garden of Terror. The Germans with a victory in game number 1. And now, as we're heading into map number 2, keep in mind that heroes that have been played cannot be played again. Meaning that 10 heroes are now out of the pool. Again, this isn't Meta Madness, we don't have any pre-bans here. We might have a few for the main event, this depends on the crowdfunding. We have some crowdfunding goals to hit here, so as I said before, there's a link in the description if you want to check that one out and contribute. But besides that, here for all of these matches, it's just heroes that have been played cannot be played again. So with 89 heroes in the pool, that pretty much just means that you're not seeing the same heroes over and over again, but it's not pushing the players too much out of their comfort zone, if at all. Usually player pools for all of these players on this level are pretty big, so yeah. But Sylvana's out, same for Nubarak. Ban on Abatha. And they're banning Sergeant Hammer again. I can totally understand that. You have pretty much 3 players on the blue team that can all play Sergeant Hammer and have done so in the past. Nick, Hazu, and Ultralisk. To be fair, I wouldn't put it past someone like Dino or even Death Knight to play Sergeant Hammer. That's obviously not what I'm trying to say here, but when we're talking about players that have regularly played that particular hero for teams in competitions, then the 3 that I mentioned at first, they have to definitely be highlighted here. Alex Straza is a first pick together with Dehaka. Okay, a bit of a preference pick for them as we're heading into Garden. Hogger obviously has already been played previously, so he can't be played anymore. Same for Rhaegar. Those are 2 heroes that you would normally see on Garden of Terror. But we could still see Lucio, for example, to speed things up. Now that Genji has been taken first, even Anduin becomes an option with a Light Bomb engage. Greymane, Jaina, anybody that can do a lot of work on camps is, generally speaking, very powerful and strong here. Sonya, for example, same logic applies. And we'll see which one of these heroes are going to be taken then, eventually. But with Death Knight on Karazim, we have already an aggressive support for them. Bans as they're kicking in. I don't really think that on Garden of Terror it's going to happen, but generally when you're going up against Fish, you oftentimes want to ban out Uther because he can play this as a main tank that doubles as a support. He hasn't really been playing the main tank for the team though, so Simply has been doing that in the last couple of games, but I would assume that depending on the situation they would still be comfortable in switching things around just slightly if they feel that the strategy warrants for it. Tyrael banned out too. It's obviously one of Nick's favorites and he's been playing it a lot. If he has to play tank, then he wants to at least play a tank that is a bit more aggressive and has more assassin potential, and Tyrael has done exactly that. Judgment, of course, being one of the tools. I'm not looking at this and I'm asking myself if we're gonna maybe see Illidan again. We have seen a surprising amount of Illidan plays in this Nations Cup, at least on the European side. I'm not saying he's played all the time, but we've seen like 3, 4. It's a lot more than expected. There's Uther! Uther and Kerrigan. So yes, they decided that they would swap it over. Good move. Fish playing, again, not exclusively main tank for the blue team. So it's a little bit of a diversion, and Uther therefore is up, and if they decide to go for it, he can do it. With Mindtalk on Kerrigan, you can clearly see what they're trying to do here. So they are not only attempting to pick that hero away from the blue team, but also they want to be aggressive with the Divine Shield and Kerrigan and look for some stun setups. The blue team, on the other hand, is the Germans with Arthas and with Alarak. Okay, more control, more CC. And on the tanky side, Arthas against Kerrigan. Battle that we already had a lot during the first alpha of Heroes of the Storm. And here comes Mephisto as the final pick. Alright, another opportunity for the Netherlands to put a point on the board. Germany, they want to walk away with the 2-0. Before we're heading into game number 3, let's find out together if they can pull it off. Germany on the left with a lead on Garden of Terror. We get Hazorps on Sonya, Death Knight on Karazim, Dino in game number 2 with Genji, Nick on Arthas, and Ultralisk is playing Alarak. On the right side of the map, the Netherlands with Fish playing Uther. We got Simply on the Haka this time, so swapping over to the side lane. The Meat Bicycle with Alexstrasza, Higao on Mephisto, and Mindhawk is playing Kerrigan. Strong Kerrigan player too, but obviously it also depends a bit on what your opponent allows you to get away with. And we already had a few games of Mindhawk where he was playing as Kerrigan and didn't really do all that well, simply because the opponent controlled his movements extremely well and shut Kerrigan down every single step of the way. Arthur's on the money pick. Raiding in style into battle. I like it a lot. And the trade build once more for Nick as he's starting to stack it up on his level 1. Let's go. Frostmourne hungers. Down to the bottom of the map. I mean, again, lots of mercenary camps on the map. You want to make sure that you're getting mercenary control as best as you can, just so you apply additional pressure to the lanes. A couple of rotations with quick and easy kills would be nice too. They're already setting this up here. And Nick kind of springs the trap too early. So, yeah, he went way too soon out of that bush. That could have been played a little bit better by him. If he just delays that slightly, then maybe you have the chance to take a kill there. It's questionable, but he was a bit too quick on the draw there. So now we got Circle of Life with 3 stacks. Alexstrasza is going to work on that, give them the extra globes as the game continues. Ultralisk gets caught here for just a second. With Alarak, he went on level 1 into the Ruthless Momentum. And Sonya is still doing the 1v1 top lane against De Haka. And obviously when we're talking about level 1 talents, Karazim in particular, I mean the Iron Fists. Not that you're gonna see anything else in competitive play anytime soon. It has been the preferred talent of most teams for a long, long time right now. But we got still the first seed up, so I mean, it's usually a map that goes a little bit longer. One of the reasons why we've also seen a lot of Nazebo lately is that this map has been played quite a bit. And then if you're looking at a late game hero, you can try and get someone like Nazebo to level 20 with decent stacks, go for the Vital Infection, and then really get damage done. Dino jumping in and has to immediately retreat since he was more or less sandwiched from the opponent's team. So has to be very, very careful how he approaches that. But they're going for a kill, and this time it is the Netherlands that walk away with first blood. They take down Arthas, and that is the end of Nick. He is the first one to fall in this game, and a good first step for the team in red. Nowhere near where they need to be, obviously, but still, good start. Hazorps, though, up at the top. He's doing solid work on the wall, has already destroyed one of the towers, is working on the gate and the rest. And down at the bottom of the map with the Siege Giants, another attempt made by the Netherlands to pretty much facilitate the exact same thing down here. But Nick is back, and you gotta be careful with that Howling Blast. Not a lot of stacking going on for him with his level 1 though. Sing at 5 now. Kerrigan still in the middle. It's gonna be a bit of a slower start for this one. Once that they are very dedicated about fighting for seeds, things are gonna change. But at least for now, there's still quite a little bit of wiggle room for all of them. So, yeah. And with that, up at the top, Simply is already doing his thing here. Yep. Totally fine. Down to the bottom of the map. Poking this one out. Alright, careful. Another combo attempt from Carrigan. Yeah. Can they maybe go for Arthur's again? It doesn't really seem like it. Well, actually, as I say it, Minotaur should have his cooldown back up in a moment. So if he can close the gap just for a second, maybe there's an opportunity. But he gets turned on, and so much for the opportunities of Carrigan. Instead, it's Dino and Genji that takes this chance with the help of Alarak. Gets a quick kill and takes her down. Problem is, of course, that Uther wasn't there either. Which means nobody can heal Alexstrasza. And are they going to get the Arca? No. These two escape. But I guess Mephisto is gonna fall, and yes, he does. Now with the two supports, Uther doubling as a main tank, you would of course expect that eventually you are ending up in situations where it's extremely difficult to kill anyone on the side of the red team. But at least for now, Germany is faring just fine. Would of course been a bit more happy, I suppose, if they were able to kill Alexstrasza or the Haka in that last little encounter. But once level 10 abilities are ready for them, it also means that the dynamic will change quite a lot. But they gotta do what they can at this point in time. We have one solo seed stack for Germany. Netherlands don't have anything yet. And it's time for a second seed to be claimed. Uther's the only one here. Mephisto is now coming in to help out. But this could still get a bit dicey. Yeah, especially for Fish. So yeah, indeed it does. Genji is the one that moves in towards the end of the fight and drops him. So, Genji gone. And Nick maybe a little bit too deep. Yeah, tries to get out. Should be able to walk away here. And now that... Oh, what? Yes, that's the combo. That is the move from Carrigan. So, Mindtalk had some troubles getting into a proper fight so far, but this one was exactly what they needed. Getting the quick double stun out and then eliminating Arthur's and Karazine. That was big, and it also helped them to make a play straight for the seed. So now we have a seed on each side. We have level 10 abilities, which gives us a leap. We got the counter-strike, get the army. But things are a lot more even now with 3 kills to 3. And the Netherlands doing some work. Only question, of course, is simply if they can keep this up. Or if now that Germany has level 10 abilities, things are going to change. Yeah, well, that burrow came a bit late to dodge out on the leap, and the stun connected. Yeah, that's the end of the Haka. The Haka gone, so easy kill for Germany. That's kill number 4. And there's the chance to go for the bot lane. At least open that wall up. You have Siege Giants slowing everything down right there, to an extent, I guess. Yeah, did you see them griefing? Acting like they would throw this, and I was like, no, I'm just kidding. It's pretty much how you deal with a dog. You always just like sit there, you know, you have like the tennis ball and you act like you throw it, but then you don't throw it and the dog is totally confused. On the one hand, it shows you how stupid most dogs are, but it is kind of cute. It's kind of funny. Gets even more funny when the dog at some point says like, hey, I don't believe you anymore. Just goes straight up for you. That happened to a friend of mine when we were kids, and I was in tears. Dog, not really attacking the guy, but just like jumping on him. Is like, I don't believe it. It's like, I don't have it anymore. Just like threw it to me, actually for real this time. But beforehand we were teasing the dog, and the dog, at some point, the dog was like, screw it. I'm done. I've had it. And I just went for him. It was like, I make a choice here. Talk about going for it. Hazu with another quick leap. And look at Genji zigzagging through the team. And then still dying because he tried to make a play for our boy Mephisto, who was just at that moment healed by Alexstrasza. And that turned out to be the last play that Genji made in this little fight. And here comes the ult from Mephisto. So that's an opportunity to maybe get a kill, but not quite. Alright. So, quests are completed or about to be. We have 12 stacks for Arthur's, 58 for Genji on level 4. And, well, some of those forts have taken significant damage, particularly talking about the top lane. Sonya has done a lot of work here against the Haka. And is once again down to a lot of these camps that are immediately claimed by the blue team. It's that continuous leading experience is really the biggest issue for the Netherlands. They don't want to go up against a talent advantage on the other side. So every time it happens, they have to fall back a little bit. And you can tell how slow and passive they're playing this, because they just don't want to go up against a strong German team that also is running a talent advantage over them. So this is difficult. How much are you willing to sacrifice to buy yourself time to get that experience? And they're sacrificing a lot of space on the map. The top fort has also been destroyed by Sonya. So that's another one. And now Hazu, very much so alone. Just double checking. Has a lot of mobility, of course, with his leap, and can always escape thanks to that. And in addition, is able to spin to win, or spin to escape. Yeah, bye-bye Uther. Didn't even use his ult, but Kerrigan is dead too, so this is kill number 7 and number 8 for the Germans. Another leap, and that should honestly be the end of Mephisto. He's dead, and they're cleaning house. The Germans, with the follow-up kill, they take Alexstrasza down, so she's dead as well. We have them now on a 2-level advantage over the red team, and they're taking fort number 2 apart here in the middle of the map. Germany with another great showing up to this point, and the Netherlands are once again in trouble, having maybe a creative crisis. Then again, with Genji dying, that's good news, so they're at least able to eliminate him. 150 sadism for Alarak. And just to give you a bit of an idea, with 150 sadism, he's currently sitting at 20,000 damage. We have Genji on 30k, 34,000 for Mephisto. But here's another seed, and that is a very, very nice position for Germany. And if they grab this one, then it's all about Garden Terrors. The funny thing is that nobody is even controlling Sonya. I mean, look at this. Sonya has an easy time destroying the bottom fort because they grab the Siege Giants again, who are stopping the minion waves and even pressure the wall itself. So this is already tough for the red team. They're losing too much ground here. They lost every single fort, and now they're not fighting for this either because there's level 16 in the hands of Germany, which means that you have pretty much no chance of fighting this. But it doesn't get any better when you have to go up against your opponent's Garden Terror, so I thought, but then Karazim died as they went for this camp. Now that's a little bit of a surprise. They got the Karazim kill. This is still doing damage though, and somebody has to react to it. Mephisto is now coming down to try and do exactly that. But they are losing ground everywhere. Another attack in the middle. Alexstrasza gets caught. Nice telekinesis. The follow-up from Hazu's leap is right there. And that allows them to grab kill number 1. Number 2 follows as the Haka gets murdered. And this is bad news for Netherlands. They didn't really have a lot of good news this game. They got at least some kills. And now level 16 is inching closer. I guess that counts as good news. But the gates are gone. Garden Terrors mostly defeated. Mephisto now on his way up towards the top. But since they have to split their forces so thinly here, it also means that there's a chance for Genji to do damage down at the bottom of the map. He's nibbling away at the hit points on the fort. The rest of the team is pushing middle, is trying to preserve top for them. So all of the keeps are taking damage to various amounts. I don't think that any of these keeps is going to fall just yet. Maybe at the bot lane. Seems like they're willing to commit here, especially now that they're taking Uther down. So a great attack, a good leap. And these leaps from Hazu have been insanely impactful. Stun after stun that helps him to facilitate another kill. So one keep is gone. So is Alarak, by the way. He just doesn't know it yet. There it goes. So he's a goner. Later, boomer. But with one keep destroyed, the 2 others opened up. Yeah, red team needs some big victories. They need a big team fight, which they have honestly been trying to fight a bit earlier today already, but they didn't get. That is a nice song though. And I love how Dino didn't give him a dash target. Like, these pings are totally justified because pretty much Kerosene was telling Dino to come back so he has a dash target. But the problem is that Dino moved away from him initially, and then by the time he reconsidered and moved towards him to help him get away, by that time it was already way too late. So Dino killing his teammate or saving himself. Like, it depends a little bit on how you look at it. But the situation is still very, very good for the blue team. 2-0 lead, definitely in the cards here. But look at the damage output of Mephisto. 50,000. Mephisto is such a monster when he's played by a capable player. Yeah, we go for another kill here as the channel happens. So the Haka is gone, and here comes the second seed. I guess they were hoping to be able to interrupt, but the rotation was slightly too slow. They have level 20 in another moment, on the other hand, and that's big. And now that they're also moving in for Fish and drop him, that's bringing us back to the same situation as before. Uther is gone. That means you rely only on Extraza for heals. You don't really have a main tank anymore. And the Haka obviously was killed too, so now it's a 5 versus 3. And they won't really be able to go for the core right away unless they get a few more kills, but they can definitely try and go for keep number 2, and this is more or less what they are doing here. Look at the death count too. The only one that hasn't died yet in this game is Sonya. She's the only one. Everybody else has died at least once. Second keep destroyed. Air's getting thinner for the Netherlands. And that's the end of Mephisto, and I guess this is gonna be the end of the game. Can they kill Hazu? They cannot. No, instead they're losing the entire team. 5-man team wipe. So everybody dead and gone, and with 19 kills to 9, we have another victory for Germany. 2-0 in this best of 5. The Germans, once again, well ahead. And Sonya still died, got turned into a plant and died. So at least one death on the side of Hazo. But yeah, 2-0 lead for the Germans. GG. Well done. Germany with the 2-0. We're heading into Battlefield of Eternity. Match point number 1 for the Germans. Netherlands. A little bit outclassed here. Now again, we have 3 clear favorites. I personally have to say that even between, or in the battles between the favorites, we already had some interesting situations happening. The match between France and Sweden, for example, was absolutely awesome. I really, really liked it. It was some very interesting twists too. But when we're talking about those top 3, then of course they are still clear favorites in most of these encounters. I am interested though for some of the matches that we're still going to get. I believe that later today France is going to play versus Spain, for example, so that's going to be an interesting one too. But anyways, Germany in our best of 5 at hand. They have taken the lead. It's Battlefield of Eternity. Very team fight heavy map usually, unless a team goes for immortal aggression, just like drafts a lot of immortal damage and says, okay, let's go and just sneak the immortal in and try and win the game early. But normally I don't really see that here. So the Germans, they have match point. If they win this, then they would still be undefeated. Now I always have to throw a little caveat in that they haven't played against another team within the top 3. But not dropping a map against any of the other contenders, another challenger, that is still pretty good. Pretty strong performance. And you can tell why they are one of the top teams, and a team that is expected to not only qualify for the offline event in Berlin, but also at the same time get a high seed, which would give them an easier opponent in one of the first rounds. So yeah, Stitches eliminated. There's still tons of heroes. You could still go into a variant combo. I think Stukov is up. They go for Vala right now. Greyman is available. So even with this rule that we have that you can't play hero multiple times, you can tell that there is just plenty of heroes to choose from. And yeah, this is still going to be a very aggressive draft, I'd assume. Going for any kind of quick attack after maybe Varian, Stukov, Murden, Stukov would definitely work for the teams here. Dino with Vala has now multiple choices of how he can play the hero too, of course. We get Garrosh and Oriel right at the beginning of the draft. Now that, of course, immediately begs the question, is this going to be a Zarya combo? This is something that the Swedes have now done in pretty much every single game that they played in this tournament. They eventually went over and decided that they would just get a Zarya together with Garrosh. But in this case, we have the pick made by the Netherlands, and they could adjust. Death Knight with Lily. It's panda time. They're heavily pandering to the audience over here, as we're going for Chen and for Lily. So the tag team is in the house. Okay. We could have 4 pandas at some point. Very interested what the rest of the draft is going to look like here. But yeah, the panda duo. Okay. Mirrodin gets banned, yeah, so they apparently don't have any ideas of picking them for themselves. But yeah, I want to see what they're going to do now. It's not quite what I had on my bingo card for the day. Sergeant Hammer getting banned this time against the Netherlands. So the Germans don't want to deal with the tank either. For me, the question is really Zarya. Are they going to try and just get Garrosh to a point where he can just like run into the opponent's team, flip a target over, and then allow them to kill it, or how are they going to play this one now? Suljin and Zarya. Yep, here we are. That's a strong 4-man. That's a very strong 4-man. And that can definitely work. Now, obviously, with Lily, they have a few blinds, yeah, that can help against Suljin. Now they're going for Diva, too. And Tacita. Alright. So after Nick has started to play Deathwing as a main tank for the team, he's now dropping Diva into the mix. We have Vala and Tacita for the damage. And then Chen plus Lily. Thinking a little bit outside of the box here for sure. Leaves us with Mind Talk. He's going to play on the side lane unless they are swapping heroes over a little bit. Can already tell that unless they are swapping heroes, there's going to be a bit of a role swapping process going on the team too. And it is Artemis. Okay, so things are getting definitely a bit wild in game number 3. And as I keep reminding everybody, this is match point for Germany. So guys, let's go. Battlefield of Eternity, Germany against Netherlands. Let's see what they can pull off. Germany pandering to the audience with Death Knight on Lily and Hazorps on Chen. We got Nick on Diva, Dino on Vala, and Ultralisk is playing Tacita. On the right side of the map, once again, building that strong 4-man around Garrosh and Zarya with support from Oriel. They're going to try and put Suljin in a spot where he can easily get his stacks together. And Mind Talk, isolated up at the top, has to deal with Chen. It's a chance for the Netherlands to bring it back, but let's see how Germany deals with all of this. We have an arrow build from Vala. Not necessarily the go-to build on Battlefield of Eternity. I actually don't think that at this point Vala even has a go-to build on this map. Normally, I mean, instinctively you would immediately think about Monster Hunter and arrows, right? And obviously it is a very strong build here, no matter what you think about Vala as a hero just in general. But we've seen so many auto-attack plays by her, also on Battlefield of Eternity just lately. So it's going to be interesting. Ah, look at this! Trump's favorite hero. Tacita, he's amazing. He builds great walls. They're the best walls. Everybody says so. His walls are amazing. So another wall build, but immediately disappearing. He builds a wall, and then he makes the Zerg pay for them. But yeah, so... actually, it's kind of fascinating. My Trump expression is getting worse and worse. With every single year that passes, the expression is suffering, and I don't really know why, but yeah. If things continue at pace, the Americans are going to get mad here, but you guys are about to re-elect that guy. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's my favorite soap opera. American politics is my favorite soap opera, I gotta say. Like, back in the days, you know, you would watch some shitty soap operas. These days, you're just checking out some American politics, and it is just insanely entertaining. You have it all. You have the Trumpian guy, then you have like the like every week there's a new episode out, and there's like new scandal. Did Biden fall down something again? Did Trump insult somebody new? Who's crazy? Is there another porn star to pay off? Like, what's happening this time? Does Fetterman complete a sentence? It's fascinating, honestly, and you never know what's going on, so just get the popcorn ready and enjoy it. It's always a blast. And everybody's getting angry on both sides. Very entertaining if you don't live in the US. Probably not really all that funny if you actually live there. But for outsiders, I can tell you, it's a very nice replacement for the traditional soap opera shows that you were watching. So, yeah. But okay. Level 4 is in. We get the speed bubble, so this is where the combo between Zarya and Garrosh is actually really kicking in, and yeah, exactly like that. Comes in, takes Tassadar down, and that's a quick kill. So speeding up Garrosh to allow him to run into the opponent's team and just get a quick flip going. That's exactly what you intend to do with this particular setup, and yeah, it worked well. They got the first kill, first blood is there, and that allowed them to grab the camp with the numbers advantage down at the bottom of the map. All the way up on the left side, we currently have Dainu and Nick doing their thing on the camp. For some reason, the Netherlands don't like mercenary camps. Is that it? Like, they did not make a play for their own shaman camp. I guess they wanted to burn through that wave a bit and do some structural damage, but they did very little of that. So, yeah, we'll see. Atan is taken out by Chen in a 1v1. Now that shouldn't happen. That's not good news for Mind Talk. It's a 50-50 when we're talking about the Immortal in the halftime show, though. Lily has continued with the Eager Adventurer and the Safety Sprint. And on the side of Tassadar, we got the Static Charge and the Induction. 12 stacks for Sul'jin. So Sul'jin is not in a bad spot here, outside of the fact that he just got killed by Vala, but he is stacking well. So Dainu coming in, and the notorious Vala flank destroying Sul'jin, who definitely did not see that one coming. We have another kill potentially. Actually, they're trying to attack Haas a little bit with the help of the towers. It wasn't too bad. But the victory on the Immortal goes to Germany. They take the first objective. It will become a question of whether or not Sul'jin gets into a proper late game for the Netherlands. And with his early game stacking, I gotta say, he is gonna hit the level, the first quest reward, his 15 stacks, very soon. And then he has the extra range that allows him to stack this even further. Given the build we have on level 1, the Recklessness, that obviously helps with this a bit. But very curious what we're now getting. On level 7 it should be Arcanite Axis, and then if you get additional stacks there, here it is, then you can become an absolute damage machine in the late game. Now Mindtalk surviving, and talking about surviving, he's not the only one. Ultralisk also survives. Lily down at the top gets whipped and dies, whereas Tassadar barely made it out. We had the Protoss versus Protoss battle down at the bottom of the map, even though Chen was trying to get a bit cheeky and influence all of it. Tannis nearly winning the battle against Tassadar and showing him who's boss. And in the meantime, we now have at the top the push continuing, the play being made here. Straight up for that wall, taking that down. Obviously now with the empathic link, we have that one here too. There's only one way you would put that on, and that's obviously Sul'jin. 15 stacks, range increases in, stacks are coming through on level 7. So yeah, this is the time when you still want to stack this up a little bit and slowly and steadily get ahead on all of it. Once the 30 stacks are reached, and then you can make your play for the double swing. So yeah, Vala has to be a bit careful. He's still able to get the kill with the help of Tassadar on the other hand, so Oriel is gone. Down here, Artanis. Yeah, my man is in trouble. Artanis is doing what he does best. He's dying. Slowly. Very slowly. And Lily, she's looking too much for adventure here. Girl doesn't know her limits. She just comes in over and over, goes too deep, and then is just like, ugh, another panda dies. So, another quick hit right there. Level 10 is nearly in play for Germany. I gotta give some credit to the Netherlands though. They are on 3 kills against 4, so they're not really trailing too far behind. and we should not neglect the Suljin factor in the late game. That said, now that Dino has 24 stacks and his level 7, he can burn that Immortal to a crisp within seconds. And you can definitely tell the difference here. Even with the amateur opponent as a talent for Artanis, that halftime show is easily claimed by Germany, and they are going to try and follow up on it with level 10 in their hands. This is going to be another Immortal for the blue team. It would be an absolute shock if somehow they were not able to claim it. And of course, with heroic abilities, they can now easily make that move, which is what we're seeing here. So job well done. At least the camp claimed. Vala is on 25,000 damage. Suljin trailing, he's at 20. He's now straight going for his ults. The kick, not too shabby, but not good enough. And all of a sudden, with that nice stun, we get additional stacks for Suljin. He definitely likes situations like this one. Chen, no chance of getting out of that corner without following up. And Suljin, he just used that as an opportunity to get a few more stacks together. Not only on his level 7, but he's now also on 21 for the baseline. Meaning another 9, and he has the double swing, which increases his damage over time on his level 7 significantly, of course. So there is still some scaling going on for the Netherlands that they could utilize in the later stages of the game. But as it is, as it stands, we have Germany taking control. They're taking 2 forts down with this objective. So there is definitely a bit of a time limit for the red team. Aegis being used, and Artanis gets kicked away. Chen, Fat Illidan, is he gonna get out? Gets whipped, and should get killed, and does. Same true for D.Va. So, D.Va is gone too. And that's 2 kills for the Netherlands that put them now on the exact same kill score as it does Germany. The big difference are the structures. The stutter step. Nice. 23 and 15. Vala with the strafe to zone them out. But experience is nearly the same. Kills are the same. Suljin is stacking. So Germany, clear lead. But there is the late game threat. And Vala with a kill on Oriel. So yeah, that shouldn't happen. There is a timer for the red team. There definitely is a timer. And if they continue losing heroes like this, it's going to be an even bigger problem. Dino is flanking in from the side. They're still trying to take down Garrosh, and they can. So Dino is just executing one flank play after another, and somehow it works out for him. Earlier he killed Suljin, then he was able to take down Oriel, and now they're taking down Garrosh. So they're not stopping here, and they have no reason to, because it is working out perfectly. Suljin, on the other hand, nearly at the 30. Again, super important to reach that particular threshold, because it will allow him to get the double swings out. Has to pop his ult. Yeah, can Aegis be used? Yes, where's the heal? Yeah, not in time. So he gets the quest completed. Has the double swing for his level 7 now for the stacks. They're nearly on level 13, but they're also suffering one loss after another. They got the kill against Chen, so that helps them a bit because they will still be on even numbers for the next objective. But it is the same situation as previously. You have Vala with by now 38 stacks, and she is just getting one combo off after another, which is really taking them down here. So yeah, tough times. But again, this is not necessarily over yet, but obviously the air is getting a lot thinner for the Netherlands now. And this is match point. Gotta remind everybody, this is match point. Germany has a chance to take down another team without dropping a single map. Still, flawless victory. Their record would be untarnished, but can they? 30,000 damage now for Suljin, 42,000 for Vala. But we gotta do something here. Nice! The Axe is doing tons of works right now. Especially since he's able to hit them in the choke point here. That was 3,000 damage just with that little play. So he's at 33 stacks, both on the baseline and his level 7. And Suljin is becoming more of a threat. Panda is down. They're trying to go for D.Va here. So as you can tell, the damage output is there. And look at Suljin. He is getting insane amount of stacks now on his level 7. He was at, what, 28 before this fight started? So now he's taken another 14 stacks, roughly. And that's just because these choke point plays work really well in his favor. Whenever he can unleash his Arcanite axes, they get a double swing through, and he walks away with 3 to 5 stacks easy. So they might be able to make a play here. But then again, Dainu just can't stop, won't stop. That little fucker over here is getting them one kill after another. Comes in and just murders them. And it's a huge problem. Like, the whip doesn't connect, the swap doesn't connect. Vala is about to get another hit in, and everybody just keeps dying over here. Oriel has no chance, so she's the first one to fall. The rest of the team is barely walking away from this one. It's just crazy. Yeah, goodbye simply. Garrosh is dead, and Suljin, he's doing all he can, but I don't think he's stacking fast enough. They did so well initially in these fights, and now they're losing another Immortal. And this is going to be the third one for Germany. There's only so many attacks that you can sustain yourself through. So Suljin is catching up in damage, but that doesn't help you if you keep losing ground and structures. And it also just makes the gap in experience wider and wider. 16 any moment now for Germany. Have fun dealing with that. This entire level that they got a bridge for this. Dainu hasn't even died yet this game. Like, no matter how aggressive his positioning is, when he tries to go for these kills, he's looking great. And now he's going on level 16 even into the seething hatred. Okay, so more damage for him. Atanis gets isolated a little bit, but Garrosh is there to help out. Some kick plays are being made. They're trying to save that keep. I don't see it happening. They're burning the Immortal on very quickly. I gotta give them that. I can appreciate that, but I don't think they can save the keep. It's just too much. Diva with the pew pew pew. Yeah, Aegis has been used. Oriel rushes away. And of course, Suljin with tons and tons of damage right now. Axes everywhere, but the keep is gone. They're pushing even further. They're hoping to net themselves a kill or two and maybe even be able to make a play for a core. I don't see this happening for Germany, by the way. The longer they are brawling here, the more opportunities they give Suljin to stack. The only thing that could help them is if they get kills. And Netherlands, they should just play this slow. There's no Immortal left. Let them poke a little bit. Allow Suljin to get stacked together. Don't commit too heavily. And see what you can do with it. But then Suljin, he's also low, had to top pop the fountain again, gets a few more hits out, and well, Suljin dies. Did not use his ult. And this is an occurring theme with Suljin games. That Suljin always tries to walk this tightrope and then doesn't use his ult and dies in the process, and that shouldn't happen. And that's the chance for Germany to maybe even end the game. They're going to try and follow up on that kill. They will likely get at least another one. Aegis barely saving Oriel, but Garrosh is dead. Oriel still on the run. And maybe they can save the team here. Mindtalk still alive. They're buying time for Suljin, who's back in 5. Core is still in play too. This is getting insane. But they're just caught in this corner. Caught in the corner, Suljin with more and more damage, but I do not think it's enough, especially if they're now destroying the second keep. Then you have absolutely no structure standing there anymore. Catapults are going to spawn with every single wave for Germany, but at least they were able to take down Tassada, so that's one of the damage dealers gone. Suljin with more attacks, needs to be careful with Nick, but you can tell how much damage his baseline attacks now do. And thanks to level 16 there too. Yeah, they use the Taz Dingo, but he doesn't get a lot of value out of it. Would be a bit of a different story if they're on level 20, but right now they just try to do whatever they can. He's at 87 stacks, but he's also dead. But it's what I said earlier. Imagine this with them having access to a few more structures. They finally kill Vala, so maybe that is a bit of an opening. But there's catapults on the core, so that's another problem. Lili is trying to dash out. Death Knight is running out of mana too, so that's another problem for him. But he should be able to walk away from this. And the catapults are now going to absolutely murder them. What the Netherlands need is they need to win this objective. Obviously, if they lose the Immortal here, then this game is just over. But Vala's dead. That's the main source of damage for Germany. So this is the best opportunity right here. And they win the halftime show easily, even without Suljin. But they need to go for the big hits now. They're still one level behind, but they could make that work. 63 stacks for Vala. That's insane damage. Really good stacking for her. I mean, Suljin, again, as I mentioned, he's also looking stronger and stronger with every single fight that passes. And if they get him to level 20, that would be incredibly powerful. With a big Immortal, they could maybe make a play, especially now that D.Va is dead. That's a very good start. Artanis still with damage. They're going to get this one, 100%. They might lose a hero in the process, but they're going to get the Immortal, and they do. And they're getting more stacks also for Suljin. Just try and not lose a hero now. Yeah, swap is happening, more hits against Hazu, and Suljin is melting these tanks away. But their own tanks are also suffering. It's not only Artanis that falls, but Zarya is killed too. So once again, a similar situation here. They're just very much so struggling keeping all of these heroes in play. And big catapults are now making their way over towards the core. They have to be taken down. Of course, Germany is now taking the bottom keep, and they want the game. It's a 4 versus 3. But they're realizing that as this continues, Suljin is becoming a problem. He has 100 stacks on his level 7, 61 on the baseline. You play this out for another 5 minutes and he is going to two-shot your frontliners. It's not going to be quite that bad, but yeah, he's a problem. Especially when he hits level 20. So they need to try and take him down quickly if they can, as long as he doesn't have level 20 or the core. And the core is now at 70%. Suljin is at 85,000. Uses his ult, and it's going to be the end of him. He's going to die once he comes back, unless the heals are great. And yes, they get Vala, and they go for Chen. The Netherlands, they are holding on to this game for as long as they can. The Immortal has taken down the fort, and now they might be able to get the keep. 69% of the core. Level 20 for their opponents, but Lily is now also killed, and they go for Nick. The catapults on the core. They need to send someone back in a moment. They can take Nick down. Nice. Another kill. 18 kills to 13. But they have to deal with this. We're 18 minutes in. They can take the keep, yes, but I don't think they can go for the core. The catapults would likely end the game before that happens. So you gotta make a choice here. Chen and Tassadar are the only ones that are still left. They think they can race this. They think they can go for the core, I believe. I don't think they can. The core is falling too quickly. The Minions are gonna win this. 53%. The minion wave is gonna take some of them down. This is so close. This might be the first loss for Germany. The core at 38% against 80. Suljin is dead. They are trying. They're doing what they can. Zarya and Oriel have also fallen. 40%. They're not done yet. 20. They go for my dog. And it's 7.65% as they save the core and the day. You gotta be fucking kidding me. What a game. They got so close. Suljin had to use his ult before they were at the core. If he would have had the ult there, that is a guaranteed win for them, because the minion wave took down the catapults. If the minion waves are not able to take the catapults down, the Netherlands lose it right there to the minions. But as it happens, the spawning minion wave defended the core at 38%, and at 5, Germany took down all the players of the red team. What a series and what a finish. Nicely done. GG, well played. Netherlands definitely gave them a run for their money, but Germany wins another series without dropping a map. Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.